Hello Internet, it is I the Roshi, and I'm back with another reaction, this time reacting to the Natlan Preview teaser. In all honesty, I completely missed this. My bad, I'm a terrible content creator. But I'm here right now and I'm gonna watch it, even though it's only a minute and so long. I'm gonna see what I can take from it, and I'm gonna share what I've learned with all of you. Isn't that fun? We have fun here. Anyway, sit back and relax and let's get into it. Oh, wow. Okay, let's talk about it. First, I'm going to talk about the landscape, its art direction, all that good stuff. I absolutely love the colors here, and once again, it's very complimentary. You know how I like talking about complimentary colors. It's ha. It's good. Anyway, what I mean by that is look at how this just blends so well, how everything pops with the warms and the cools. They're using these red oranges, these greens into blues. So there's this blue mist throughout this whole area. You have the sky that's blue, and they're using a lot of shadow, especially in the distance that is blue, and it gives it more of that three-dimensional feel to something. Having blue as your shade, as your dark color, as your shadow makes things stand out a lot more than just using black, believe it or not. Same reason why you'd use a yellow on a surface to really make light look like it hits that spot, and it makes it look more natural rather than just using white. But I just love how it's all like melded together, yet it breaks it up a little bit so your eye travels around this little, I guess, this city area. I love this Native American slash Aztec slash Mayan feel to everything. There's a lot of verticality. There's a lot of water. I love these blue cloths, these blue and purple tarps that kind of just attract your attention. All these colors and how everything is laid out, just swooshing back and forth, are just kind of leading your eye to that center point, and it looks so good. I'm sure there's going to be more areas of Natlan that are released. This looks very lush and lively, but from my knowledge that I've recently learned through the Venti story quest, there's also the Sea of Ashes. So I am expecting a more desert or wasteland area at some point, and I don't think we've had a good view of that kind of area as of yet. But yeah, I love the flow of everything, and I like how there's like painting on these pillars, on the mountains themselves. This place looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So what I like here is that this is old. These look like they've been part of some kind of ruins, or maybe it's even some art project for all we know, because there is some painting or graffiti over them. There's moss here, so it's been here for a long time. However, the paint could be new or old. It looks like it's on the older side, but who knows? What I do know is that it is paint, and there could be some magic involved in some way, shape, or form within the paint itself, but we do have paint pots used to carry it. So that is kind of cool that there is someone or a few people, or it's just a thing, maybe with this Natlan culture, to go around and just be all artsy with it. I really like that. We also have this little guy, this new kind of ferret, weasel, otter thing. It reminds me of that Pokemon that I can't remember the name of, but this is better. Very cute. Let's talk about some contraptions. She is riding this drill mechanism where she can use it to go across the land faster and even up mountains, as we saw. It even has wings, so maybe you can even jump with it, perhaps. Not entirely sure. Okay, she can break ore with it, so it's definitely has some kind of mining purpose. That would make sense, being a drill and all. Now, my question is this thing specifically for this character? Because it's kind of mouse-like themed. Not saying that she is a mouse, but, you know, she's got the similar ears going on. So is this kind of the equivalent of her dash? Or are these going to be... Are there going to be vehicles or animals to use for traveling? I know we saw that other video not too long ago where it had this chameleon creature, where it had this dolphin-like, whale-like creature to get around in the water and go through these rings to boost and go faster, or the lizard to grapple onto some points, so on and so forth. So is this in that category? Or is it something else, like an equipment that you can craft, that you could smith and have on your person and switch to so you can navigate around the world better? That would be awesome if it just becomes that and any character could use it. And it would be even better if you could use things like this in places that weren't just Natlan. Imagine how much easier it would be if you could take these Natlan things and go back into like Liyue for something where there's mountains everywhere and you can use the same contraption to climb a mountain much faster and easier. That would be cool. Will that be the case? Probably not. Even though Liyue has mountains, who knows if they thought that far ahead to be able to implement these kinds of things into earlier game regions. It would be nice though, and here's hoping. Like this character, for instance, gets a little fancy dolphin shark buddy to surf along the top of water. So that just brings up my question again. Is it character specific, where it's only this character can utilize this? Is it just like a regional Natlan specific location where you go to a point by the water and then you can just do this anywhere within the Natlan region? Or once again, is it some form of equipment? This section here makes me believe that these things that we've been seeing so far, such as the mechanical drill mouse, such as the shark, and then here, that these things are built within the Natlan region itself, because now we have a scene here where you have these different points, almost like grapple points, but instead of using an actual grapple, the character just sort of glows and floats between them. So I don't know if this is a character ability. I think it's too big for it to be a specific ability of the character, but perhaps it is just something within the world that you can initiate. It activates and you go and you start doing your cool floaty stuff from point A to point B. So that's what I'm getting the sense of, that after looking at all three of these characters do something unique within the world, that it stays within the region of Natlan itself. Although that's awesome, I'd much rather have it be across Teyvat as a whole. But once again, unfortunately, perhaps a little too overzealous for Hoyoverse. Now let's talk about the characters that we're seeing here. We've got the mouse girl. I don't know what she is. We've got the furry. We got our chipmunk girl person here. So what I find very interesting about these character styles, as we can see on this one, is that they have like these older symbols, these designs, lots of angles. They also have furs and other markings, yet they're dressed very sporty. Like she's wearing a visor, these shorts, and sneakers, or these boots that end with like a straight up modern day feel. She looks like she's about to go to the park to play some tennis with her friends. And she also has other markings on her, such as like this blue paint smear on her clothes and her body. So I feel like this is a character who's going around doing some of the painting. Then again, it could just be tattooed. And that could be like a cultural thing as well. That's very interesting. We have Xiao's older brother. I like his hair and the headband look, and he even has braids like in between some of the layers, and he's got piercings for days. I think this guy's cool. He too has the sneaker look. So like I mentioned with the chipmunk girl, how she was very like Aztec, Mayan, but like sporty. This guy has a very similar feel, but maybe more like streetwear, like more skater style. And you also have these kinds of patterns, which makes me think digital, but you could also think like ancient technology from a race long ago, almost like Forerunner stuff, etc. I get the vibe that this is like a very intelligent character. That's gonna be funny if this character releases and he's dumb. But I feel like this guy gives me the presence of like, maybe it's just because of like Xiao and Alhaitham and how they have like the green aesthetic with like the cool hair, and I'm seeing a similar personality to like a quiet type of character who is fairly intelligent. I have so many questions right now when it comes to this character, and I don't know what it is, but I really like her. She's got a fish motif thing going on. She's got her shark, which looks like it's technology now more than it was before. Before I thought it was an actual animal. It could be both. It could have its own personality and mind of its own, for I'm not sure, but it looks like it does kind of belong to her, how she's like posed with it. Not really sure, but she's got a fish thing. You have it in her eyes. She's got a little fish in her eyes. You have it on her chest piece. This is a fish with a crossed out eye right there. Dead fish shirt. Okay, cool. Her hair is very much like fins. And there's probably other stuff that I can't see in just this image alone. Let me scroll around. Let me take a look. Nice butt. She has all sorts of things clinging onto her. Once again, like fin-like drapes, like tassels coming off. She's got this fish plushie. I hope that's just not a fish out of water. On her back of her bow, she's got something wrapped around her wrist. Don't know if that's alive or not, or if that's just a fat. Look at that thing. Look at that thing. Is that guy alive? Is he okay? He looks fine. And of course, she's even fishing in this scene right here. I actually really like this character. I think her hair does kind of remind me of Nilou a little bit, and maybe that's why, but I like how it's tied up, and I like how it's white into the faint blue, and then there is this other highlight of yellow in it. I really do like these mix of colors, these experimental colors. And she also has markings on her, which I'm not sure if they're just natural, if they're tattoos or what, but it's almost like, it almost looks like tan lines on her, but in a weird way, as if she covered up her kneecaps from being hit by the sun. So across these three characters, you have this ancient civilization now modernized. You have this Latin American feel of sorts, this Native American feel of sorts. Then you have this sporty feel across all of them when it comes to their footwear, when it comes to their headbands, and so on. And then on a more personal level with these characters, there's something more, such as this guy kind of having this tech feel about him. This girl being like more of someone who's into exploration. And then this girl who is very Islander-like. Right now, I'm really enjoying seeing the similarities between all these characters due to the region that they're living in, but I'm also enjoying the individuality that each character has, so you get a little bit more of their personality through just their appearance alone. It makes me very excited to learn about them, and it makes me very excited to see what other characters come from this region and what they can have in store. And I won't get into it for too long because I don't have too much to say, but we have the enemies of the region here. You know, these are another gang of sorts, probably similar to the treasure hoarders, except they're here and maybe they're hunting for rare minerals of sorts. I'm only guessing that because he's got a club, he's got a saw, she's got some kind of sword club thing, and these also look like they're possibly tools for excavating and such. You know, they're wearing helmets or masks that are similar to that Geo enemy that's in Liyue that runs around, so there's probably going to be enemies like that or similar to those here. I imagine there's going to be some story, whether it's through side missions, world quests, maybe even the Archon quest, that has to do with some rare ore of some kind, and that these guys, although maybe not the main villains, just villains within the area itself, could potentially get in your way a bunch. I do want to say that I enjoy this little map traveling section here. My editor did a trick in my first Liyue episode, which was a lot of fun, very similar to this. I like that a lot. Go watch my Genshin Impact playthrough if you're not doing that for some reason, you crazy person. Anyway, I like that here, and I had to stop and take a look at the map as much as I could while I can. We have a broken bridge. It looks like we have some either outposts or other little villages, or possibly ruins of villages and so on. Let's see. And these are probably villages, and if they are ruins, then maybe they're overgrown and not just kind of dried out like they would have been up north more. But we'll see. What else do we have here? Okay, once again, back in a more drier area. I'm only saying that because the grass being more yellow than green means it's dried out, but you have green above, so it's interesting. Here, we got some runes. This is not a current day civilization. This is old stuff. This is lore stuff right here, probably. What exactly is it? I don't know, but this is pretty cool. I just feel like there's a reason why you would have this, even though they cruise by it. I feel like this is a place of some kind of importance, at least in a world quest of sorts. So, gonna have to look out for this area if I remember to. If not, you guys check it out when you access it way before I do. And don't let me know. I don't want to know. Don't tell me anything. I am actually very happy with this very short teaser that we got. I like how we have this rough and tumble excavating adventurer girl. I like how we have another quiet nerdy boy, probably. And this character looks like a lot of fun. And I'm picturing fairly awkward, but it's charming. Which character out of the three here do you like the most? Let me know in the comments below. And that's my reaction and the end of my ramblings for now. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. Just some observations and stuff. You know, I didn't really get too heavy into the Natlan lore, considering I don't know a lot. But it is what it is, and I look forward to learning more in the future as I go along. I'm also looking forward to seeing more Natlan trailers, because my interest has been piqued. But thank you for being here. I appreciate it, and thank you for supporting me. If you want to support me in additional ways, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video, leave comments down below, and check out the description for additional ways, such as becoming a member here on my YouTube channel or on my Patreon for that additional content, the uncut, good gameplay content stuff that you know you want. So go and do the thing if you can. Every little bit counts. Thanks again. Until next time, shine on, you crazy diamonds. Later.